Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Woo! So finally, I finished Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Woo! And what can I say about this book? It was so good. It was so good. Seriously. But I gave it only 4 stars out of 5. And if you guys are wondering why I didn't give it 5 stars, I actually have no idea why I didn't give it 5 stars. I mean, the book was perfect. There was nothing I didn't like about it.
I just didn't think it was a 5-star worthy book. But you never know. My opinion might change. So here's what I'm going to do.
So I'm going to do 2 parts. Part 1 is me just talking about the book with no spoilers. And then I'm going to do, after this, I'm going to do like a book talk, sort of, with spoilers, stuff like that. Like another part with spoilers in it. So if you guys haven't read the book, you can watch part 1, which I'm going to do now. And then after you finish the book, you can come back and watch the spoilers if you don't want to be spoiled. So anyway, let's get on with the review. So, like I said, this book was so good. I loved everything about this book. I loved the characters, the plot, the writing style. Jennifer L. Armentrout is such a great writer. I loved her writing. I also, okay, so let's start with the characters. First of all, I loved Katie. Katie was such a great protagonist. I loved Katie so much. I can relate to her a lot. She's such a normal girl. She's a book blogger, which I also love because she's a book blogger. I'm a book blogger. Oh my gosh, I could so relate to her. Oh, I think any booktuber and book blogger can relate to Katie. She's so awesome. Like, she stands up for herself. She doesn't let anyone give her crap or boss. She doesn't let anyone boss her around or take advantage of her. I love Katie so much. She does what she thinks, says what she wants to say. She doesn't care what people think. I love Katie so much. One of my favorite characters in all the books. And I would definitely want to be best friends with Katie. So let's move on to the other characters. I love Dee. Dee was such a great friend. I love Dee so much. She's so nice. Dee loved Katie from the start since they first met. Damon. What can I say about Damon? Okay, I liked him. I liked Damon. He was such a jerk. A complete jerk. But at the same time, it also made me love him for being a jerk. He was a jerk, but he has his moments where he can be a nice person. And also, in the back of the book, there's actually some scenes in Damon's point of view. So I got to read from his point of view, which is awesome. So I'm kind of starting to understand him a little better now. And yeah, Damon's a typical jerk who
He can have a nice side when he wants to, but he acts like he doesn't care about anyone. But he really loves his sister Dee, which I really loved. This family is very important. And yeah, I pretty much loved all the characters, honestly.
But Katie, Damon, and Dee were the 3 main characters in the book. I loved all of them. So the plot, okay, I'll try to describe the plot as the best as I can, and I will try to do it without spoilers because, like I said, there will be a part 2 with a discussion with spoilers. So basically, if you guys haven't read Obsidian yet,
And I'm sure there's people out there who haven't read Obsidian yet. The book is about a 17-year-old girl named Katie. She lived in Florida. Her mom decides to move to West Virginia, so they moved to this really small town. The town is so small, there's not even like a grocery store or stores, so they have to go in another town to go to the grocery store and go shopping. So basically, Katie feels she doesn't fit in yet. And so the day she moves there, her mom tells her to go out and make friends. So there's these 2 kids next door who are Damon and Dee, who I mentioned before. And so Katie walks over there. She rings the doorbell, and Damon answers the door. And Katie's first thoughts are, "Wow, this guy is so hot." And then Damon looks at her like she's a loser, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And this part is my favorite scene in the whole book. I think it's everybody's favorite scene, and I heard they're gonna make a movie. If they make a movie out of this book, they better put the scene when they first meet in, with the same dialogue and everything. It'll be such a funny movie. So anyway, Katie asks Damon to give her directions to the grocery store where she can buy groceries and plants. And Damon acts like such a jerk. He's the biggest jerk I've ever read in a book. But at the same time, you gotta love him, right? You gotta love Damon. And so yeah, he's such a jerk, and his sister Dee is the complete opposite. Dee is the nicest person you could ever meet. I loved Dee so much. As I mentioned before, Dee is so nice. So basically, that's what happens without any spoilers. So basically, she just moves to a new town, moves to a new school. She meets Damon and Dee. And yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. Okay, so this is not a spoiler because it's on the back cover of the book. So Katie finds out that Damon and Dee are aliens, and yeah. So pretty much she goes through the whole book, knowing they're aliens and stuff like that. There's a spoiler, but I'm not going to say anything about what happens to Katie. So you guys will have to watch the next part to find out what happens, I guess. Yeah. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, you could just stop right now. You can just stop right now, and then when you read this book, come back and watch the spoilers, okay? Bye, guys.
Okay, guys, so now we're going to talk about some spoilers and a little book talk. So basically, if you guys have read the book, you know this. So basically, you know what happens, like Katie gets
a trace, what is it called, a trace put on her, and so she has to stay with Damon until the trace goes off. And you guys know what happens if you read the book. And so, did anybody else like how this book wasn't insta-love? I mean, if you guys know that Damon and Katie, they didn't get together at all in this book, really. I mean, yeah, they had like that fling and stuff, and they kissed, but they didn't actually get together yet, which is awesome because I think it's really suspenseful. Like Jennifer Armentrout, I think she did that on purpose. She wanted us to want to read the next book, and I really want to know what happens between Damon and Katie, because I think doesn't the book ends with Katie saying like, "Oh, I don't want to be with you" or something like that. And so yeah, and what was up with Ash, guys? Am I the only one who really hated Ash? She was so mean. I was like, what's the big deal, Ash? I mean, I was like, what's the big deal? Because she's not with Damon anymore, and like they're like on and off, and like Katie doesn't really like Damon. Well, at the time she didn't. You know the scene in the lunchroom when Ash was being such a jerk and Katie pours her lunch on Damon and Ash. That was such a funny part. I love that part so much. I laughed out loud. And anyway, I'm like, why was Ash so jealous of Katie? Because I didn't think Katie liked Damon at the time. She probably did. But yeah, Ash was such a jerk. And the whole thing with like the people coming back and like capturing Damon and Dee. Like I was like, oh my gosh, really? Ugh. And like Katie was so brave, you know. She was so brave. And I told you before, I liked how Damon and Katie at first, they hate each other at first, and then they start to like each other. But it's so cool though, because like I said before, they don't even get together by the end of the book. I'm like, what? Out of this whole book, they don't get together yet. Because I can kind of understand why Damon and Katie don't want to be together, because Cayman, oh my gosh! Cayman, would that be their
couple name? I didn't say that on purpose. I said Cayman by accident, but Cayman, that could be their couple name, right, guys? Guys, thumbs up if you like the name Cayman for Damon and Katie as a couple name. I did not mean to say that. But anyway, they're both hesitant about being together. I can understand why, because
Damon's, because as you guys know that you read the book, Damon's like scared that if like he's with Katie, something's gonna happen to him and her and his family, like what happened to his brother Dawson when he like fell in love with Bethany. So I can understand that, and then Katie, I understand with Katie too. She doesn't want to be with Damon because she feels he doesn't actually like her or care about her. She's like I don't want to be involved with a guy that doesn't actually care for me. Like she feels like Damon is like forced to be with her. Like I can completely understand that, but still, I really want them to be together. I really do, guys. So yeah, oh my gosh, and like the whole thing
about the powers that Damon can do, and all the powers him and Dee can do. I love the powers. I would love to like do what Dee does, like how she cooks and everything. I would love that, and like Damon can like freeze things. He can move really fast, which that reminds me of Edward Cullen, because didn't Edward have the power to move really fast? If you guys have read the other 3 books, please comment below and tell me which book was your favorite, and tell me if the series gets better, because I've heard mixed things. I heard Onyx was really good, but then I heard Opal wasn't good in Origin, wasn't good either because something happens. But I own all the books, so I will be reading the other books in the series before the 5th one comes out. I think there's a 5th one. So, did you guys see the cover changes? I do not like them at all. Like, you know how like they're doing like bind-ups? For the first 2 books is a bind-up and the 3rd and 4th is a bind-up. The covers are so ugly. I know a lot of people hated these covers, but honestly, I actually like these covers because I actually think, I know they're cheesy, but I think it describes the book pretty well. I mean, come on.
It's obviously Damon and Katie, and in the background, the lightning. Look at this one. Like, yeah,
I hate the new covers. They're hideous. I'm like, to me, you can't even tell it's the same book. And someone else had this too. Yeah, someone else had this too. I forgot who. But they said for the bind up of Opal and Origin, they said it looks like it's like a magazine cover. It's so true. Like, who designed the covers? These are actually a lot better. And when the 5th book comes out, is the cover for that one going to be different than all the others? I mean, I think they changed the cover for Origin, right? This looks a little bit different than the other ones. So yeah, guys, that is my review. If you guys like this book, or if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more videos or want to see more of me, please subscribe for more. And yeah, in the comments, please tell me if you loved this book. If you're wondering what I'm going to read next, I'm either going to read The Fault in Our Stars or Onyx. And guys, comment below and tell me which one I should read next. Should I read Onyx next or The Fault in Our Stars? Because I really want to read The Fault in Our Stars before the movie comes out. But I want your opinions. So should I read The Onyx or The Fault in Our Stars? Please comment below and tell me. Thank you guys so much.